Sir, several unidentified objects have just entered orbit.
My blockade will intercept them.
They've destroyed the blockade. Our ships are just gone.
Get Captain Pellaeon. Captain Pellaeon.
Captain Pellaeon.
This was a big moment for many Star Wars Legends fans, but who is Captain Pellaeon and did he survive Star Wars Rebels? We'll cover that on today's Star Wars lore episode. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars lore episode. Today, we will be talking about the Star Wars Rebels season finale, but also taking a close look at the Star Wars Expanded Universe. The season finale for Star Wars Rebels featured the recanonization of a fan favorite, Captain Pellaeon. If you just want to know whether Pellaeon survived or not, I'm going to put a timestamp up on the screen. Just scroll ahead to there. Everyone else, for the next couple of minutes, I'll give some background on one of my favorite Star Wars Legends characters. As with much of the post-Endor Star Wars Expanded Universe, Captain Pellaeon was introduced in the Thrawn trilogy. Pellaeon served not only as the captain of Thrawn's flagship, the Chimera, but was also one of Myth Ra Niroda's closest allies and his second in command. Pellaeon is extremely likable within this series because he sort of represents the reader. Thrawn is off scheming and doing these elaborate plots. Pellaeon really has no clue what's going on most of the time and has to ask for direction and for clarification. However, Pellaeon was by no means incompetent, and Thrawn often took his advice into consideration. Pellaeon would mostly disappear from the universe after the death of Thrawn at the end of his trilogy, but reappeared in a major way in the novel Darksaber. In that book, he helps Admiral Natasi Dalla form the new Imperial Remnant faction. After Dalla's failed assault on Yavin, where she lost the superstar destroyer Nighthammer, she retires from military service, relinquishing command of the Remnant to Pellaeon. The Remnant, although newly formed, was a substantial military power within the galaxy. It represented the beginning of the end for the Imperial Warlord era and saw for the first time since the loss at Endor the formal organization of different Imperial military splinter groups under a single leader. The Imperial Remnant would become a legitimate government within the galaxy and would exist in various forms throughout galactic history. Although Dalla really was the driving force for the creation of a unified Imperial Remnant, Pellaeon was seen as the faction's first and most important leader. Pellaeon personally played an important role in many galactic events, including the Yuuzhan Vong War, where he helped broker peace between the New Republic and the Imperial Remnant, which was key to fighting off the extragalactic invaders. Pellaeon was unfortunately assassinated at the age of 76 at the Battle of Fondor, but that's a story for a different day. What's clear, however, was that Pellaeon was a major character within the old Star Wars Expanded Universe, and one that was very important to many fans, including myself. But let's return to Rebels in the new Star Wars canon. Pellaeon's appearance in Star Wars Rebels was basically as minor as it could have possibly been. We hear Thrawn mention his name, then we hear his voice for several seconds before he's interrupted by the invading Purrgils. All we really know is that he was a captain serving within Thrawn's 7th Fleet. Unlike Legends, it doesn't appear that he was the captain of the Chimera because that's the ship Thrawn is on, and the Chiss specifically contacts another ship to speak to him. But it is possible that Pellaeon was on a different ship because Thrawn wanted a trusted officer in space leading the blockade, while he was on the Chimera in atmosphere. However, as I mentioned, Pellaeon is cut off while communicating with Thrawn by the attacking space whales. His fate is left ambiguous. Just seconds earlier, we hear that the fleet had been totally destroyed by unknown objects and was nowhere to be found. The ships being destroyed is actually only an assumption. It's very possible that, like presumably Thrawn and Ezra, they were just moved. A user on my Discord known as Takuka sent me an article which more or less confirms exactly that. Dave Filoni, the supervising director and basically guy in charge of Star Wars Rebels, specifically says the following: even though his radio transmission gets cut off there, I'm not trying to say that Pellaeon would be dead. I don't think that's it for him. I would like to see other stories with the guy. And I mean, logically, that's the only thing that makes sense. Pellaeon is such a major character, fans would be incredibly frustrated if he was recanonized to die 5 seconds later. Sure, they could go back and make up stories during his days with the early Empire or the Republic, but Pellaeon is primarily known as a post-Endor character and for his relationship with Thrawn. He was included into the episode so he could be, and I quote, put in play, saying that maybe then later he'll get picked up for other comics or novels. As is the case with Thrawn and Ezra, we can fairly safely rely on the rule that if you don't see a character die on screen, you should assume that they're still alive. That, along with the fact that Dave Filoni did everything he could here to confirm concretely that Pellaeon is still alive, should give Star Wars Legends fans like myself all the reassurance we need. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you want to see more on my thoughts on the Star Wars Rebels series finale, check out the review I did a couple of days ago, link in the upper right hand corner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, this has been EckhartsLadder. May the Force be with you.